Today we have with us actress Kalki, who is someone who really advocates for clean beauty and better well-being, and there isn't a better time to talk to her about this. She is going to give us a little guidance into how we can inculcate clean beauty into our lives. Kalki, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off with, asking you about how do you essentially define what clean beauty means?
As much as possible, staying natural for your skin, also being responsible for the products you're buying, being good to the earth, just general sustainability, something that allows all of us to continue living longer lives.
Also, what's that one thing you wish you knew about, clean beauty a little earlier? And also, how did you make that conscious shift?
I think there's it's sort of progressed over a long period of time. I just started discovering products, which were sort of organic and without chemicals. I remember going to some pop-up shop and pop-up thing and finding Ruby's Organics. It's like really, they've got really lovely lipsticks. And I also love the design of how it pops up from the, the box, like, yeah, it's like you got a little gun in your hand. So yeah, I remember, just discovering these little products which are local. I think I always prefer to go for local because that's again cutting down the emissions, cutting down the travel, all of those things which add to environmental issues. So yeah, it's a slow progression, but I think I always wanted that one place to go and just find all your products easily. And I think one thing that's helped me a lot is this Instagram page called Zoop Up Me. It's called Zoop Up Me. And it's like, you can put in any beauty product brand name, and it's gonna tell you how organic they are, how much cruelty-free they are, et cetera, et cetera. So it just kind of gives you a really sort of, quick answer to what you're looking for. So, you can just put the product name and it's going to tell you who's making it, how it's been made, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow, that's why I think I know about a website or an Instagram page that exists, but I did not know the name up until now. So thank you for sharing that with me. Also, I want to ask you about the two terms that we use, like whether it's clean beauty and natural beauty. So are the two terms, do the two terms have the same meaning? And if not, then how do you actually differentiate between the two?
I mean, from my interpretation, I could be wrong, but natural is the sense that it's organic and it's good for the skin, that it's chemical free. And clean is that it's also environmentally friendly, or that it's a green product, that it's not harming the environment and that it's not harming animals and things like that. So it's, I think, one level up if you can get clean as well as natural products. That's the ideal.
Right. Yeah, I think that distinction kind of just makes a lot of sense. So, also I would want to talk to you about greenwashing, which is essentially like the whole gimmicky marketing strategies to say convey that something is eco-friendly when maybe it's not. So can you maybe help me with a few signs that one can spot greenwashing with?
I think anything it's packaging. Packaging is a huge one. As soon as something is packaged, double, triple layers of plastic, a little tiny bottle with a plastic and then another plastic dabba, and then, it's sent to you also with plastic wrapping. I think that's a big sign of how many dolphins are probably dying. So it's probably, yeah, I think one of the big signs for me is how it's packaged. There are very wonderful companies that, take the trouble to even use wax paper or other, products which are like plastic, but, are sustainable, and also take the time to wrap it in paper, post it. Even the postage, is completely done with paper, or if they do have to use plastic, it's written recycled, reused plastic. So, look out for the packaging, I would say. That's a big one.
So you've always had, glowing skin, like really clear, pretty skin. So are there any at-home wellness rituals that you practice for like better skin and better well-being?
To be honest, I think the more your skin breathes, the more it gets natural air, the better your skin is going to be. So I mean, one of the recent big changes in my life has been living in Goa. I'm partly living in Goa when I'm not working, and I can see that the skin is better because of the air that I'm breathing. Of course, we don't always have the choice to move out of a polluted place because we're working in cities. But I think one of the other things is just really leaving the skin as much as possible without makeup when you're not needing it. So if I have a weekend at home and I don't need to work, then it's just, literally just leaving the skin as natural as possible. And one of my secret favorite things is oils. I don't use too much moisturizer. I prefer to use oil. So it can be any organic cold press oil, like argan oil or even coconut oil. Sometimes I find some oil that somebody has brought me. This is a homemade recipe. So yeah, I just think that's quite a nice thing to put on your face at night to let your skin regenerate. And yeah.
Amazing. So, I mean, your emotional, your physical well-being also obviously has a direct effect on your face or your skin or your overall skin health. So, what are some steps that you take for your emotional and physical well-being when you're feeling a little overwhelmed?
Making space for myself, time for myself, especially now that I'm a mother, finding the time away from the baby, away from my daughter, for myself. And that could be just, doing a yoga and a meditation, or it could just be, going and reading a book in a corner. But that time for yourself and doing things not for anybody else, not for your work, not for your child, not for your husband, not for anybody else, just to like replenish and wind down is very important, I think, to fight for that time.
Absolutely. So you just mentioned yoga and meditation, and I've observed that you generally, you seem to lean more towards yoga when it comes to, doing a workout or like exercising. So how does yoga help you improve your mental and physical health?
Well, I think that the whole process of yoga is not to get to an end. It's not about getting to achieve the headstand or achieve, a certain pose. It's really about the breathing and the process through it. And it doesn't really matter if you're doing a headstand or you're just, doing something simple. I don't know, like what Vajrasan or something. It's just about how much you are in the moment. And I guess meditation is similar. It's about breathing and just taking in the moment right then and there. And also, if you take it to a slightly more philosophical level, it's about not judging your thoughts, not judging the things that come through the day. So through the day, you start having worries or you start having like stress, anxiety, and it's about saying, okay, this is here. I gotta deal with it, but it doesn't. You don't have to give it you don't have to find a solution for it. You just have to breathe through it. So it's a useful tool. I'm still early on in the journey.
Great. So, I mean, of course, we've spoken about yoga, we've spoken about, taking some space for yourself. Another important factor that contributes to beauty and to better well-being is diet, right? So, how can one make their eating habits more sustainable according to you?
Well, it really helps to find if you have a local market, like a local farmers market, because it's again the product, if it's come from close by, there's less need for it to be packaged. There's less need for it to have preservatives. So all of these things really make a difference. If you can find a local source for your especially your fresh fruit and vegetables, that's important. If not, then in a place like Bombay, I think hydroponic is a good solution, because clean water, you're growing your veggies in that. And other than that, yeah, it's really about, I think, moderation. I don't think that you need to cut out everything and of course, we all can admire perfect vegans, but I think the world just needs people to be a little more conscious. We don't always have to be the perfect vegan, right? So, in whatever ways that you can, if you can replace your sugar, your processed sugar with honey, raw honey, or jaggery that's raw as well. So, it's just those little things. Whatever it is that you have a weakness for, replace it with an alternative that's slightly more responsible, both for your body and for the environment around you.
Lovely. Those are some amazing suggestions. So, speaking of taking measures, what are some measures that you have taken now that you take to reduce your carbon footprint and say live minimalistic?
So, at home, it's everything as much as possible. I've made everything recycled. I separate my paper, my plastic, my tins, my glass. I have a compost bin. So there's actually very little kachra that goes into the, actual. There's those are non-reusable plastics, which we try not to buy anyway. But otherwise, it's really very much getting rid of that garbage. The other thing is all my house products now are products which I get in big bulk. So I don't have to order small bottles of things. So I order big, like 5 liter from Strategy of floor cleaner, of washing liquid, and all those things that you need for the house products. I've never used diapers, which have been, I've always used bamboo diapers for my daughter, and then cloth diapers, and same thing with my periods. I think, now I'm on the Moon Cup and cloth pads. I don't ever use other kinds of pads. So yeah, I think all of these things, really accumulate if you look at it over a lifetime, and it can make a big difference.
Okay, so my last question to you would be, you've also previously spoken about taking care of our water bodies and reducing plastic waste. So what do you think brands and consumers can do to, make packaging more sustainable, at the same time also consumption more sustainable?
Oh gosh, I wish I was so good at marketing to be able to give you a good answer for this. I'll do the buying. You guys figure out how to sell it to me. I really don't know. I don't know. You guys have to figure that stuff out. I think that that it needs to become a more sort of holistic approach towards fashion, towards shopping, that I think the past, let's say 20 years or whatever, it's always been about the beautification of the self. And I think if you look at the way advertising has been changing, we're looking at a lot more at how we're beautifying our surroundings as well. And, I think it's about that. It's about how we sell that, how we advertise it, and say what is precious to us. And it is our loved ones, it is the earth, it is water, it is air. These things are becoming very precious commodities. So if we advertise that, people are going to know that they want that in their lives, and they're going to want to buy those products.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Kalki. Thank you so much for talking to us about these really important things. And thank you so much for giving us so many pointers that one can go to when if they want to inculcate a more responsible, more sustainable way of living. At the same time, keep yourself beautiful. So I'm really, really grateful, and I'm so happy that you were part of our Virtual Beauty Carnival this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.